Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1973 Seattle Pilots What If scenario. Today's matchup is between the California Angels and the Seattle Pilots at Brainiac Stadium. On the mound for the Angels today is Gary Nolan, whose record is 3-3 with a 5.02 ERA. And pitching for the Pilots, making his season debut, is Dave Frost. Okay, everybody, I need you to take a second, go to your bedroom, and get yourself an extra pair of underwear because you're going to shit your pants when I tell you what we did between yesterday's game and today's game. So pause it, go get some fresh drawers just in case you need them, and settle in because we did a big, big thing. Take a look at transactions. Yes, this is correct. We signed Ken Singleton off the free agent list, $219,000. He was asking $250,000. So we talked him down a little bit, but this is money we did not have in order to spend. You'll see what he's done in his first 4 seasons. Put up some pretty good numbers. Consistent with RBI. He walks a lot. He hits into a lot of double plays, but he has playoff experience, and he's Ken Singleton. He's a switch hitter, so we never have to take him out. Defensively, not great, but you know what? He's going to be our everyday DH from now on. He's got great contact, solid power, solid gap power, and a 96 rated eyeball. And who cares about speed? So, I mean, Ken Singleton, 25 years old, making okay money. But in order for us to have picked up Ken Singleton, we had to eat some money. And here's what we did. No more with the team is Tito Fuentes. Fuentes is gone. For right now, Rodney Scott will step up from AA. We got Rodney Scott's new card created. He's going to play second base for us for about 2 weeks. Scott is a 19-year-old switch hitter as well, blazing speed. An okay eye, okay contact. Not great defensively, but we're just going to have to suffer with his 80 defensive rating. And he will be our second baseman. Tito Fuentes was making $150,000. He was in the final year of his contract. He was not going to be re-signed. He was our best hitter. He was batting well over 300. He had the most hits on the team. But you know what? We have to get rid of these players now. They're not. Tito Fuentes is not going to get us over the hump. It's not like we're going to make the playoffs this year, right? So let's start building for the future. Look at this lineup right now. Now, today we are giving Ron Woods a day off, so Paul BLAIR will be in center. We got the switch hitters, the lefties in a row. Rose Skidmore will only play versus left-handed pitchers now. So he's basically done. And we are simply waiting for Roger Metzger to come back. We'll put him at short, and then we'll move Gene Alley to second. And maybe the two of them could platoon. I don't know. But that's basically the plan. So I feel like this was a pretty big deal for us. We do have the second or third worst runs scored in all of baseball, so Ken Singleton should help us. He is only under contract through the end of this year, but we have the right to re-sign him. We did lose Lonborg for, through the next start. Riddleberger will be back after today. And we've got Dave Frost on the mound, making his first start of the year. He has the highest rating of anybody on our pitching staff all the way through the minors. So let's hope he pitches like his ratings suggest he should, which is average, really. So we made some big deals. If you need to change your shorts, feel free to do that. This is the last day of the month of April after today's game. In a separate video, we will do the standings, the league leaders through the month, and we'll also see if we can't determine who the best players are in the history of our Seattle Pilots sim. I'm sure there must be a way to do that. I just haven't tried to figure it out yet. We're going to do a deep dive on Gary Nolan. We'll do a deep dive on Rodney Scott just for the hell of it. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. Okay. I'm psyched. I'm ready. Let's hope we put some runs together today. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and/or subscribe to the channel. No bomb back today. No Riddleberger. No Del Canton. So Dave Frost is going to have to give us some innings today. And then we have our lineup versus Gary Nolan, who's a right-hander. I've already showed you everybody. We'll see how it goes. We have two players with more than 10 RBI, and everybody in the Angels lineup has at least 10 RBI. That's crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the California Angels. Batting leadoff at shortstop is Jimmy Sexton. Batting second at first base is Mike Hargrove. Batting third and DHing is John BALAZ. Batting cleanup in right field is Jim Fuller. Batting fifth at third base is Dave Hilton. Batting sixth at second base is Winston Yanis. Batting seventh in left field is Gary Matthews Sr. Batting eighth and catching is Randy Brown, and batting ninth is the center fielder Al Bumbry. Okay, Dave Frost, pardon me, made 6 starts last year at age 19 with 2-1, a 3.03 ERA, pitched relatively well. The walk's not great, not a strikeout pitcher. He falls right in line with everybody we have on our team, really. Opponents batted .270 against him. His fastball is terrible. He's only got one good pitch, that is the curveball. Rated an 86, the ground ball percentage is 43.4%. Overall rated an 80. The 20-year-old right-hander is arbitration eligible at the end of the 75 season. And this is the baseball card that I made last night for him. So turned out pretty good, I think. All right, let's take a look at our defense. It's a little bit different than before, but this is going to be our lineup versus righties, whether we like it or not. FAIREY will be in left. BLAIR's going to be in center today, but that's going to be Ron Wood's job. And then FAIREY and BLAIR can share left field. Right field is going to be Dave Parker. MEYER's our first baseman. That's it. He'll bat versus righties. Skidmore will bat versus lefties, so only occasionally now, and maybe pinch hit late in the ball game. Up the middle for now is Scott and Alley, and at third base is our error-prone third baseman PRYOR. I believe he's made 9 errors already, just like our Rich Rollins would. And behind home plate for today's game is Sims. Okay, Jimmy Sexton leading it off against Dave Frost. We've got a new era Pilots baseball. Come on. Sexton popping it up. 1 down. Here's Mike Hargrove. The human rain delay. There's a comebacker to Frost, who makes out number 2. And John BALAZ floats it out to right center field. Will that find a hole? No, it's going to be caught by BLAIR. We go to the bottom of the first. We'll go ahead and do the lineup rundown, and then we will do the deep dive on Nolan. And the second time around, we'll do the deep dive on our leadoff hitter, Rodney Scott, at second base, making his major league debut. Batting second in center field is Paul BLAIR. Batting third, making his Pilots debut, is our DH Ken Singleton. Batting cleanup in right field is Dave Parker. Batting fifth and catching is Duke Sims. Batting sixth at first base is Danny Meyer. Batting seventh in left field is Jim FAIREY. Batting 8th at third base is Greg Pryor, and batting 9th will be the shortstop, Gene Alley. Okay, Gary Nolan came over to the Angels after the 1970 season. He's been often injured. Last year he went 13-5 with a 3.08 ERA. This year he's making his 7th start, 3-3, a career high 5.02 ERA, 32 strikeouts in 43 innings pitched, and opponents are batting .293 against him. He's got a couple of complete games. Fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 44.2%. Well, he's got 2 good pitches. The changeup rated an 89, a fastball rated an 81, overall rated an 88. The 24-year-old right-hander making $1 million, and he's a free agent at the end of next year. Take a look at his log. He's won 3 in a row, back-to-back complete games. So he got off to a terrible start. Looks like he's turned it around. With an ERA over 5, I would project he'll have a great game against us today, regardless of our new batters, but we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at Gary Nolan's baseball reference page. 2-time World Series winner. He was a 1-time All-Star. Drafted by the Reds in the first round, 13th overall in the 1966 draft, out of Orville High School, or Oroville, California. Still alive, congratulations. 25.9 career WAR, only 110 wins, 247 starts, and almost 1,700 innings pitched, over 1,000 strikeouts. Pretty solid. A decent career. We'll take a look at his baseball reference stats. Came up as a 19-year-old in 1967 and went 14-8 with a 2.58 ERA. He had the most strikeouts per 9 innings. And he was finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year, so he had 206 strikeouts and 226 innings pitched. All the way down to 1972, that was his only year as an All-Star, 15-5. He had Cy Young votes in 70 and 72. 73, the season that we are playing, looks like he started suffering some injuries. He only made 2 starts, took a loss, and then he missed all of 1974. Came back with the Reds, gave up 28 home runs, leading the National League in 1976. He had the lowest walks per 9 in 75 and 76. And he had the best walk-to-strikeout ratio in 1976. So he was definitely more of a finesse pitcher at that point. 113 strikeouts and 239 in the 3rd innings. He did finish up his career with the Angels, as we've already prognosticated. Scrolling on down, look, a lot of postseason pitching, although he was only 2-2 with a 3.34 ERA, 11 starts. Almost another 60 innings pitched in his career. And back-to-back World Series, 75 and 76, beating Boston and then the Yankees. Scrolling on down. Postseason batting, no home runs. I'm just curious. Well, he doesn't have a lot here for transactions. He was traded by the Reds to the Angels at the end of the, mid-77 for a minor league pitcher, released by the Angels, signed by the Brewers, and released by the Brewers right before spring training. So he was probably pretty washed up by then. Let's take a look at his wiki. There he is. I think that's probably his rookie card, eh? Let's see. He made his major league debut with the Reds in 67. He was still 18 years old. He turned 19 a month later, but spent the full season in the majors, going 14-8, 2.58 ERA. We saw the rest of it there. Pitched well over the next 5 seasons, but missed time with injuries in 68 and 69. He started and lost Game 1 of the 1970 World Series against the Orioles. He also started Game 4, but was chased in the 3rd inning as the Reds came back to win their only game of that series. He had probably his best year in 1972 when the Reds returned to the Fall Classic that year. He was 15-5, led the National League in winning percentage, put up an outstanding 1.99 ERA while being named to the All-Star game for the only time in his career. As in 1970, he started and lost Game 1 of the series. Facing the A's this time, he gave up 2 home runs to Gene Tennis. He was back on the mound for Game 6, but failed to get out of the 5th inning and was not credited with the Reds' win. He missed almost all of the 1973 season with an injury, and all the 74 came and went as well. He returned to form in 75, coincided with the greatest years of the Big Red Machine. He went 15-9, and again in 76 as the Reds won the World Series. Both years, he had a no decision in one of the starts. Finally won a World Series game in Game 4 of the 1976 series, beating the Yankees 7-2 to complete the sweep. He started out the 1977 season well, going 4-1 over his first 8 starts, but then was sent to the Angels for a minor leaguer at the trade deadline. He made 5 appearances with the Halos, going 0-3, and his career was over at age 29. He was inducted to the Hall of Fame for the Reds. He worked 25 years in Las Vegas, including some time as a blackjack dealer. That's pretty cool. Tied for best fielding percentage for a pitcher in his career, it says. I did not know that. Okay, there you go, Gary Nolan. Let's take a look here at the defense for the Angels. They have a much different lineup than yesterday. LLENAS is back at second base today instead of third, and shortstop is Sexton. So up the middle, they're kind of weak. Outfield is solid. No James Johnstone today. Right field is going to be Jim Fuller, and behind home plate is the regular catcher Randy Brown. Tough to steal on. Okay, here we go. Major League debut for Rodney Scott, left center field. Get you! No, it's going to be caught. So Scott is out, 1 down. Next man up is Paul BLAIR. BLAIR with a ground ball that somehow sneaks past LLENAS. Runner on first. We're not going to steal because we've got Kenny Singleton up now. Singleton hits into a lot of just double plays, much like Skidmore has. He had Skidmore grounded into 2 double plays yesterday. Singleton barely makes contact, and it does get BLAIR to second. So we have a runner in scoring position for Dave Parker. You got to keep in mind, Dave Parker's only 21 years old. He wasn't even in the majors yet in real life. I think 73, he might have got a little bit of at-bats in real life. So he hasn't really hit his stride yet, but we need him to step up a little bit. Cranks it to center, and that'll do it. Top of the second inning, here is Jim Fuller. Fuller is a home run hero in Baseball Mogul. He didn't do much in real life. He does lead the team with 4 home runs. Dave Hilton, free agent signing. It's a base hit through the left side. It's the first hit against Dave Frost. Runner on first, 1 out. Winston. LLENAS popping it up. MEYER has not made an error yet this year. Will make the catch. 2 down. I don't think Hilton will be running, but again, Frost does not have a fastball. Ground ball to first, flip to Frost, and a 1-2-3 inning. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a single in there. My bad. Bottom of the second, here's Dupe. Sims with a ground ball to third. 1 down for Danny MEYER. Slams it to the left. Base hit. MEYER batting .279. He's holding his own. All right. Good guy to hit and run with. Jim FAIREY got the 83 contact. He's batting .280 so far. That was up in his eyes, but he had to swing. He was down 0-2. MEYER advances, and Greg PRYOR, not been good at anything this year. It's a fly ball to right center. PRYOR's got to hold on until we get George Brett up. top of the third. Here is Randy Brown. And he walks. That looked like it should have been strike three. Went right through the zone. Leadoff man is on. Here's Al Bumbry, number 9 hitter today. That's a base hit. All right, well, that's the ball game. First and third. We'll pull the infield in. Nolan's pitching a complete game shutout no matter what. Bumbry steals second, and this will make it 2-0. We can wrap it up. There's an error. Jim Fuller 3-run home run. Nope. Bases loaded. Ground ball to short. And a double play. All they get is the 2 runs. Here's Gene Alley. Fly ball to right. All right, let's do our deep dive on Rodney Scott. Lots of unis. Drafted by the Royals in the 11th round of the 1972 amateur draft out of Arlington High School in Indiana. Still alive. Nickname is Cool Breeze. Over 2,000 at-bats, but a terrible WAR. An OPS plus of 71. 3 career home runs. 205 stolen bases. Did he lead in stolen bases one year, or is that just in my head? No, I guess not. He had 63 stolen bases in 1980. I want to say he was second that year to his teammate Ron LaFleur. We can find out. Pardon me. Let's just find out. Ron LaFleur. Yeah, he had 97. So yeah, I believe he had 97, and then and Rodney Scott had the second most with 63. He did get some MVP votes that year, and he had 13 triples. Not going to get a lot of extra base hits. While he had 3 career home runs, and they were all in 1979. Career batting average of 236. Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't really have a lot to offer, does he? Bounced around. We used his 77 A's card to replicate his Seattle Pilots card. We'll scroll on down. He did play in the playoffs against the Dodgers in the strike short year. 3 for 18, 1 for 1 with a stolen base, 1 for 1 with stolen bases, and a walk and 3 strikeouts. We'll scroll on down and take a look at his transactions. Drafted by the Royals. The Royals sent Rodney to the Expos to complete an earlier deal. The Royals had sent a player to be named later to the Expos for Bob Stinson. Traded by the Expos to the Rangers for Jeff Turpko. And then the Rangers sent him with Jim Umbarger and cash to the A's for Claudel Washington. Traded by the A's with cash to the Cubs for Pete Broberg. At the end of the 78 season, he was traded by the Cubs with Jerry White. Back to the Expos for Sam Mejias. Released by the Expos in May, signed in June by the Yankees, cut in August, and then re-signed once again. The exact date is uncertain, it says. Let's take a look at Rodney Scott's Wikipedia page. Love those 82 cards. Oh, there's a lot there to read. We're not going to get into all that, are we? No. Well, you know what? You can pause and find out on your own. Scott played 3 more seasons of pro baseball in the Mexican League. Batting .287, drawing 169 walks. And he also played the Senior Professional Baseball Association. I mean, there's probably a lot of really great information in here, but I'm just not going to take the time to read it. But go to Rodney Scott's baseball reference page and read that through. 1 out. Here's Rodney Scott. Yeah, even with our... Oh, it's going to be a trip up! There we go, Rodney Scott with the triple in the second at-bat. Go on contact. If he hits a ground ball, it should score a run. Nope. Fly ball, right center field. That will be deep enough to score, Scott. Yep. Okay, we're on the board. We won't get shut out today. Here's Kenny Singleton. Pounds it into the dirt. 50-50 error. We've already had one of those plays, and so the other 50% occurs right then and there. Top of the fourth, Yanis grounding out to Alley. Gary Matthews Sr. rips it to left, a base hit. And he's going to be thrown out at second. Nicely done by the left fielder. That's Jim Fairey. I think that's his first outfield assist. And then Randy Brown will pop it up. Somebody call for it. Bottom of the fourth. Here's Dave Parker, full count, swinging, striking out. First K for Nolan. One down. Oh, Duke Sims just missed that one. Gives it a ride to the warning track. Two down. And Danny Meyer pulls it into right field. That's his second hit today. No. Runner on first. Here's Jim Fairey. 4 for 14 in his career versus Gary Nolan. And a ground ball to second. Top of the fifth inning. Al Bumbry leading it off. And he might get a triple of his own. First of the season. Pull the infield in, we cannot afford to give up a run, but Jimmy Sexton's a home run hitter. Yeah. Had a grand slam yesterday in what was just the stupidest game of all time. Speed, power, nothing we can do about it. Infield in. John BALAZ, ground ball to second. Sexton will hold, and then Jim Fuller will drive him in anyway. Ground ball short. Okay. Well, we hold them to one run. It's 3-1, California. Pryor grounds out, average down to 222. Gene Alley grounds out, average down to 218. And Rockin' Rodney with a ground ball to second. Okay, I'd like to get one more inning out of Dave Frost. He has yet to strike anybody out. That's par for the course. Another walk. Another hit. He's not going to make it out of the inning. Gary Matthews. All three righties get on. We'll bring in a lefty. We're going right to Munge. Nobody out. Infield in. This feels like a walk. Yep. And we'll get two in. So third runner walked in, and a second grand slam. Wow. We've got nothing, folks. Infield single. We've got nothing. I was excited, but there's no reason to be excited. This is a bad team. Scored 9 runs that inning. When we made that error in the first inning, that was it. That was the game telling you it was over. when I signed Singleton, there's a no trade clause. I don't think anybody would want him anyway, right? Because otherwise he wouldn't have been unsigned. Yeah, so if this guy had a 5 ERA, and that's why he's not giving up anything. He's the number 3 starter on this team, but all the game sees is his ERA, and has to have him pitch a shutout. The only run we have is on a sac fly. So we haven't really done anything today, and that was always going to happen. Well, so much for our lineup. I guess it's going to be Easterly. How many will he give up? 1 at least. Yep. Got to give up at least 1. Oh, and he's injured. Wow. It's the last pitcher in the bullpen. That'll get everybody in. I hate this fucking game. You pinch hit Leon Brown, he gets a hit. Nobody else can get on. So stupid. 17-1. They brought in a pitcher to get the last out. We suffer another injury, despite having one of the best expenses for medical. 10th best. There's the standings. We've given up 60 more runs than we've scored. And our ERA is now officially over 5. I don't think we had any unearned runs that game. We gave up as many runs as we have losses. Headline news, Mets win as Ryan overpowers the San Diego lineup. And the only injury is Jamie Easterly. We get 1 back, we give it away. All right, we're going to come back later on today and have the end of the month summary. I mean, the whole team, that just destroyed everybody. It had to happen because we did have several. I mean, even Mike Cosgrove had a 1 ERA coming into this game. So, I mean, 10 walks. We walked in 4 runs. Gary Nolan gets the win. Did not walk anybody. We walked 10. A pinch hit double was our 5th hit.